What's up gamers, you have Tiger Chainsaw, and today I wanted to discuss 10 out of 10 Master System games. And what I mean by that is that these are the games that I just keep returning to time after time. For me, the fun factor is 10 out of 10 for these games. These are the games that I just can't put down, and whenever someone comes over and I want to show them the Master System, these are the games that I'm showing off. And so I wanted to show these games off to you guys. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, or if you just haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button, as I have plenty of Sega Master System content on this channel. Alright, let's get into 10 out of 10 Master System games that I can't put down. So a few months ago, my buddy Lame Dad came and visited me, and one of the best memories that I have with video games is really introducing him to the Master System. And one of the games that he fell in love with was Astro Warrior. To me, Astro Warrior is one of the simplest games on the Master System, but it is so easy to pick up and play, and once you kind of figure out how it works, man is it addicting. The music, the sound effects, the enemy variety, and even the boss fights are all really fun and well done for Astro Warrior. This is a game from my childhood and one that I mastered early on, and it's so much fun to show off to gamers that have no experience with it but love shoot 'em ups. Now, this isn't the hardest shoot 'em up, but I think that's what makes it so much fun, and it's why I return to it. It's really easy for me to sit down and play for 20 minutes and do a cycle in the game. I had such a blast with Astro Warrior throughout my childhood, and when Lame Dad came and visited, it was really funny because I called it quits, I was going to bed, and he's like, well, you know, do you mind if I hang out down here and play the Master System? And I was like, yeah man, go for it. And the next morning, we were talking, and he's like, yeah, I stayed up till about 4 a.m. just playing Astro Warrior on the Master System, and that just made me laugh because it's addicting. It's a really fun game, and I'm so happy that he enjoyed it, and it's a really cool memory of mine. So one of the best platformers on the Master System is Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. Now, this is back when Disney games were really well done, well crafted, and just so much fun. The Master System got its own version of Castle of Illusion, and it is just as good as some of the other ones on the higher end consoles. If you love Disney, if you love platformers, and if you love the Master System, then you have got to play this game. Graphically, technically, and most importantly, the fun are all 10 out of 10s for Castle of Illusion. Choplifter is a game that I have spoken about so much on my channel. It was in my 10 must-own Master System games. I also reviewed it, and for good reason. Choplifter is so much fun, it looks amazing, and I love the premise of rescuing people instead of killing everything in sight. It's kind of short, but it's also pretty challenging, so you do get your money's worth. The soundtrack is also really fun to listen to, and once you start rescuing the hostages, it's really hard to put down the controller. You just want to keep going and going, and also this game is filled with some Easter eggs that is really cool. Choplifter is definitely a 10 out of 10 for fun factor. This next game could be the best game on the entire console, especially if you love RPGs. Phantasy Star has such an incredible depth to it, as far as the plot, as far as the game mechanics, as far as the combat. All of it is highly impressive, and while it's not a game that you can just pick up and play for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it's definitely a game that I return to time and time again when I have that itch to go on this incredible adventure on the Master System that spans 3 separate worlds, space travel, first-person dungeons, and some pretty cool characters. Phantasy Star was definitely the foundation for RPGs to come, and it's really nice to see it on the Master System as an exclusive. I can't recommend this game enough, especially if you love RPGs. Please play Phantasy Star if you love that genre. This game is a 10 out of 10. From a game that's really in-depth to one that's just dumb fun. Pro Wrestling is one of my favorite co-op games to play on the Master System. It's really easy and simple to understand, but I love all the different unique teams that you have on there and all these special wrestling moves. Now, I'm not really one to watch the sport of wrestling. I don't typically play wrestling games, but Pro Wrestling hooked me. It's such a button masher, but it just kind of puts a smile on your face whenever you pin the opponent. And then once you win one match, you just want to keep winning more and more and more until you're the champion. Especially when you got a friend next to you, it is so much fun. I highly encourage you guys, if you want a sports game or a game with a little bit of a different flavor, Pro Wrestling is one that you should definitely check out. Now, RType has been covered by a ton of channels, and for good reason. RType on the Master System is a masterpiece. The soundtrack, the graphics, the challenge of it all, it really blends together to make an amazing experience that I hope everyone that has a Master System can play at least once in their lives. This is not an easy game though. It's not Astro Warrior that you can just pick up and play and breeze through it. RType is definitely a challenging game that you will have to learn the enemy placements, you'll have to learn the different weapons, and those boss fights, man are they killer. You have to get good at them because RType is not going to hold your hand, but the experience of beating RType is well worth it. And to me, RType is a 10 out of 10 when it comes to fun. Can you have a list of Sega games that are 10 out of 10s without including a Sonic game? I don't think so, and that is why I'm including Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Master System. Now, if you did not know this, Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 were both released on the Master System, but they are completely unique to the counterparts on the Genesis. Yes, that's true, Sonic lovers, if you love Sonic the Hedgehog, make sure you snag Sonic 1 and 2 as they are different adventures. The story is pretty much the same, but there are definitely unique levels tailored for the Master System, and they're really fun. I'm going to pick Sonic 2 for my Sonic entry as it's a little bit more polished and I feel like it goes just a little bit faster than the first one, but they're both great games. Sonic 2 gets the edge. It is a 10 out of 10 for fun factor. All Sonic fans need to play this game. The first PAL exclusive game that I ever played was Submarine Attack, and it blew my mind. Instead of your typical shoot 'em up, which you're in space, you are actually underwater and you keep going deeper and deeper into the ocean, exploring, killing all these unique enemies, and I thought all the boss fights were really unique and cool. Submarine Attack is definitely a change of pace from your typical shooter. You can shoot up, but you also shoot in front of you because you have enemies on the surface as well as enemies right in front of you. But I just thought that the graphics were really beautiful for this game, and it was just one of the games that I discovered on my own. I hadn't heard of it before, and when I played it, I just was hooked, and I was like, man, this is a really cool game that nobody talks about. And so whenever my friends come over and they're fans of shoot 'em ups, I always introduce them to Astro Warrior, RType, and Submarine Attack. Submarine Attack, shout out to my European gamers because you guys got a banger, and I'm so happy that I nabbed it in my physical collection so that I can not only display it, but play it. 10 out of 10 Submarine Attack. So for my last two entries, you can interchange them because these two are my top two favorites on the Master System. The first one is Wonder Boy 3. This is such an amazing adventure. You get a bunch of different powers. You get the power to change shapes and these animals that you become, like Piranha Man, Mouse Man, Lion Man. I think there's Hawkman, and you also are a dragon. All of these lead you to different areas of the game. It is so satisfying beating a boss, unlocking a new power, and then proceeding to go to a different area that you've never been to before. As a kid, whenever I discovered a new area, it gave me goosebumps. I was so excited to play it, and the boss fights are so awesome in this game. I don't know how else to describe them. They look great, they're fun, they're challenging but not overly challenging, and it's just an incredible experience from start to finish. Wonder Boy 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. This isn't some hidden gem, this isn't some overlooked game. This is one of the crown jewels on the Master System, and I love showing it off to my friends who come over. This is one adventure that everyone needs to play. 10 out of 10. Rounding out my list of 10 out of 10 Master System games is Zillian. Now, Zillian does get a little bit overlooked, but I'm doing my best to showcase it as much as I can in as many videos as I can because this game is so special. The gameplay is very unique. You have to discover these codes in these rooms and then you input it into the computer. You have to do it correctly or the door won't open, and there's enemies shooting at you along with security turrets and all these other obstacles. Each room is like a separate puzzle, and the further and further you get into the fortress, the more fun it is, and the more challenging it is, the more exciting it is. In Zillian, you also get to unlock 2 other characters, so you get to play as 3 characters total. You get to level up, you get stronger guns, you get some gadgets like infrared goggles. The mission of blowing up this fortress is an experience that you will not get anywhere else on the Master System. Now the ending, yeah, it's kind of challenging, and I didn't beat it until I was in my 20s, but this is a game that I always show off to people who come over in hopes of hooking them within that first 45 minutes of gameplay, because once you understand how Zillian works, how the computer system works, it's gonna blow your mind that this thing is possible on the Master System, and it's just a game that once you pick it up, you just have to beat it, or you have to see how far you can get. It can be a challenging game, but just due to the factor of it being so much different from other games of that era makes it well worth it to me. Zillian is a 10 out of 10, and you have got to play it. So that's my list of 10 out of 10 Master System games that I keep returning to, or when my friends come over, I just have to show these games to them. What about you guys though? What are some games in your Master System library that you just love showing off? Or what's a game from my list that you're like, I gotta play that now? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, while you're there, like this video, and of course, subscribe to my channel, as I've got plenty of retro gaming content and plenty of Master System content. Thank you for watching. Happy gaming, and make sure you play a video game today.